Hi, I'm Teresa with Adventure Travel, and we're here to talk for a few minutes about your holiday block leave, which is where you get to go home for Christmas and New Year's. So this will be good information to help you understand what happens for holiday block leave and what my company does to assist you with your travel arrangements. Just a little bit of background, Adventure Travel has been in business for about 35 years. We have offices in the Welcome Center on Fort Sill and downtown at the Central Mall. We've been working with Fort Sill and coordinating the holiday block leave effort every year for the past 7 years. Our goal and our mission is to help you with airline or bus reservations and to help you save time and money with them. We always look for the best fares, including the military fares, which are not found online because then anyone could go online and request a military discount. Our system is linked in directly with the airlines, and since we are located on the base, we have access to the military rates. It does not benefit us one penny to charge you more for a ticket than you need to pay. We look for the best deal. We can check all the different airlines, we can look at different airport options, and even look to see if a flight at a different time might be cheaper. We know you want to get out of town to get home quicker, but sometimes an 11 a.m. flight might save you $100 over a 6 a.m. flight, for example. So we will give you those options. The leave time is yours and the money is yours. We're just here to help give you some guidance on how to spend them wisely. There are specific dates and times for holiday block leave for each base in the country, and we have the listing of the required dates and times issued by TRADOC. If you're leaving from Fort Sill, we're able to book flights out of 3 airports nearby: Lawton, Oklahoma City, and Dallas-Fort Worth. That's it. No other airports are approved by TRADOC, and shuttle service is not set up to take you to any other airports except those 3. We have contracted shuttle service to get you to and from these airports, and these are nice buses pulled off their regular routes and brought onto Fort Sill just for the purpose of getting soldiers to and from the airports for holiday block leave. So you don't take a taxi to the airport, you don't get a ride downtown to the Lawton bus station. If you're departing from here, we will actually bring those shuttles onto Fort Sill to pick you up at a designated area and bring you back here for your return. Unfortunately, the military does not pay for the shuttle service since you're going home on leisure and not on official travel. The prices for the shuttle buses going to Dallas-Fort Worth will be $115 round trip, and that is a 3-hour drive each direction, by the way. It's an $80 round trip to Oklahoma City and $20 to Lawton. However, if you're booking your flights and shuttle together with us, the shuttle bus company will discount those rates by $10 each. So then you'll pay $105 to Dallas, $70 to Oklahoma City, and $10 round trip to Lawton. It's very important that the dates and times on your reservation are correct, since airline tickets are non-refundable and they usually charge a $150 penalty plus the difference in the fare if they're changed. We have no way to help you if reservations are booked incorrectly online or through other means. If we make those reservations, we're going to make sure that the dates and times are within the required parameters. Another option is to maybe take a bus all the way home and back, which may be cheaper. Greyhound has set what's called a military maximum rate, so that you will typically pay no more than $238 for a round-trip bus ticket. That price may be less depending on how far you have to travel. However, it may take you more time from your leave to travel by bus, since the leave dates cannot be extended just because it takes longer to get home. In other words, if it takes you 2 days to get home by bus and 2 days back, you still have to report back from holiday block leave on the required date. So for example, if you have to be back here on January 2nd and it takes you 2 days to travel, you would then have to leave your home on December 31st in order to be back here in time. You don't get to extend your leave time longer for travel time. So what you gain in price, you may give up in time you're able to spend on your leave. There is no military maximum rate on airline tickets, however. There are a wide variety of prices depending on your destination and how full the flights are when you're ready to make your reservations. Usually, the more the flights fill up, the more the price goes up. So the earlier you can make your reservations, the better. Unfortunately, I can't give you airline prices today since we will have to look them up to give you prices. We've set up computers on your side of the base and we have a designated date and time for each unit to come and see us for reservations. We do that in the evenings and on the weekends. That makes it easier because it's not interfering with your training schedule, since we know your training day is very busy. It's also better because we aren't answering phones, we aren't booking cruises or trips to Vegas. We're actually sitting with you all one-on-one just for the purpose of booking holiday block leave reservations. So on the date set up for your unit, we will check the different options for you and give you some possible schedules and prices. If we find something that you like and a price you can afford, you should be prepared to pay for it right then. Now, no one's going to force you to buy anything. No one's going to say, you have to buy this right now or you're not going home. However, the airlines will only hold a reservation for 24 hours, and then they will cancel it if it's not paid for. We can take cash, debit card, or credit card as long as it has a major credit card logo on it. We cannot take the Star card or just an ATM card since we have no way to process those. But there will be an ATM nearby for easy access. You do not have to wait until the date scheduled for your unit to set up your reservations though. You can have a family member contact us during normal business hours on our toll-free numbers and set the reservation up for you. If someone is making the reservation on your behalf, you will still get the military discount, since that discount applies to you as the passenger no matter who is reserving it for you. If someone calls to reserve for you though, there are several very important pieces of information that we must get from them. First, they must tell us if you will be leaving from Fort Sill or from a different base, and if you will be returning here or going to a different base after block leave. We have the list of dates and times required for each base, but they will have to tell us which base you are leaving from and returning to. They will need to tell us if you will be in basic training, in AIT, or ADA at the time of holiday block leave, since that also affects your departure and return dates. They must also give us your first, middle, and last name, as well as your date of birth, since the airlines now require that information. Also, if someone is calling to set up your reservation and is going to pay with their debit or credit card, we have a credit card authorization form on the back page of the information packet we'll pass out to you in a moment that we must have them fill out. We can send it to them by fax or by email. They will need to fill it out and send it back to us by fax or email, along with the photocopy of the front and back of the credit card. The only reason we are required to get this is simply to verify that we're making an authorized charge by the credit card holder. That's it. Since we don't have them here in person to swipe their card and get their signature, we simply need to protect ourselves and the card holder just to make sure that we're making the charge with their permission. We only use that information to process your ticket, and then the form and the photocopies are destroyed. They never leave our hands. We shred that information. You may also want to let your families know that we make the reservations for them to come here for your graduation as well. If they need help with airline reservations, hotel, and car rental, we can set them up with all of that. And since our agents are all from Lawton, we know certain hotels that are good and ones that are in areas that they should maybe stay away from. Now, just so that you understand how things work for block leave here at Fort Sill, and all of the other bases have a similar arrangement, beginning the afternoon before the departure date, soldiers are separated out and manifested according to how they're going home. The batteries will bring their soldiers over to the designated departure area at the specified times. Those going all the way home by bus will be allowed to leave early evening, around 1800 and 1900 hours, depending on if your trip is northbound or southbound. Again, these Greyhound buses are brought onto Fort Sill specifically for holiday block leave, as long as you set up the ticket with us so that we are tracking how many soldiers will be picked up here. You do not go downtown to the Lawton bus station. The buses will pick you up on Fort Sill. Then about 2200 hours, the shuttles to Dallas-Fort Worth International will be loaded and will depart. Then around midnight and 3 a.m., the shuttles will depart for Oklahoma City, and about 4 a.m. headed to the Lawton Airport. These times are scheduled well in advance on purpose. In other words, your flights can begin no earlier than 6 a.m. the next morning, but it's much better for you to be waiting at the airports with plenty of time to spare, ready for security lines to open, rather than sitting here on base. If the weather turns bad or if there are traffic issues, we have added in extra cushion time to make sure all shuttles have plenty of time to get to the airports. And then you'll have a designated area there to hang out until time to check in. On the date of your return, if you're coming back to Fort Sill, the shuttles will run all day to bring you back here. A shuttle will pull up to the airport. As soon as it fills up, it will head back to Fort Sill. If your return flight is delayed, you must first notify the point of contact name and number you're given before you leave and let them know about your delay. Then the airlines will put you on the next available flight, and the shuttles will continue running until all soldiers coming back here have been returned to Fort Sill. If you are returning to a different base, each one has a similar arrangement set up for transporting soldiers from the airports back to that base. For Fort Sill, the dates of departure for holiday block leave will be December 16th if you are in AIT, which is also known as 428, or if you're in ADA, also known as 6X or 6th Brigade. You will depart December 17th if you are in basic training. Your flights may leave no earlier than 6 a.m. on your scheduled departure date. The date of return will be January 2nd if you are in AIT, and January 3rd if you are in ADA or basic training. Flights returning to Dallas-Fort Worth must return no later than 8 p.m. and into Oklahoma City no later than 10 p.m. We will now pass out the information packets and take your questions.